it's just I love to spotlight those of us that are on the hustle, on that grind, and my big thing is like leaving a legacy for our kids to one day see like, hey, listen, Pops on that struggle, Pops, did all this stuff for me, laid the groundwork, and showed me how to basically create the roadmap on where I need to go.
Exactly. And I told my son, my dream before I leave this earth is to take the keys to Vibe Reaction, whatever this is going to become, and do this and just
Yep.
hand it over to him. That's my dream. Is whatever comes out of this is to give it to my kids and let my kids, not have to really struggle for the rest of their lives. That's why I'm working so hard. That's why my wife is working so hard. Because if once I got with my wife, she already had my daughter, and I got with my wife, and my daughter was 3 years old when I got with my wife, and I automatically fell in love with that little girl. And then she got pregnant, and then I had an addition to this love. So from that moment, everything, every step that I made, every dollar that I made, my priorities went completely to them.
It's crazy how quick that changes, bro. Like you go from being the main character to a supporting role. And you're like,
thank you, bro. Oh my! I didn't know how to word it. I did not know how to word it, and you worded it perfectly.
Because what it is.
I can remember the day that she introduced me to her daughter, like officially. They were together, and she introduced me. And when I looked at her, she looked at me. That moment, just yesterday, I did and said whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yep.
I was my main priority. I was my main focus. Yeah. The day that little girl looked at me, that shit switched. I went, there it goes. All right.
Yeah. All right.
I had fun.
Yeah. Hey, exactly. I'll always remember you. You'll always be there.
Right. Now you guys are just gonna be stories of my past. That's all.
Learning. I didn't know I was racking up these learning experiences because I was still living them until everything changed. But
exactly.
So like it's for me, like in that switch, it came fast, and I was like, all right. And I the old me tried to find himself. And I was like, I was like, all right, no, I gotta. We're done. I was like, we're done. I had a big talk. I was like, we are done. Like you belong there. Right?
Oh, I minimized mine. I was going through it. I was like, oh, how did this happen?
It's just like, whoo! It's just like a bigger moment. It's like you're standing at the beach and like this water touches another fucking continent. I'm tiny, like what am I? And then you're just in like the in my case the delivery room, and then my mother-in-law was like, what are you thinking about? I was like, you wouldn't even. Maybe you would, but we're talking about. I'm a supporting role. I'm the comic relief. This is what we're doing here. This is how it goes. But no, man. What? That was random. It's my bad. Strong men raising strong kids. That's important. That is so valuable,
but
and that is such a big thing.
You know what? That you have a 6-year-old son. See, when it's a son, it's always different than the daughter. The daughter's always going to be daddy's girl. That's going to be daddy's little princess. She can't do no wrong, but that's just how it is.
Yep.
We always have to treat our daughters gentle. We can't be aggressive. Yep. With our sons, we tend to overcompensate the aggression when it comes to raising them when they get older. Not when they're younger. When they're younger, you're in the wrestling stage and running around and doing all and showing them little things here and there around the house, and you're in that stage. But once they get to a teenager, now it's all right. Now there's two bulls in this house.
Yeah, that's the way.
And I fucked up because I was trying to go head first and ram them with my horns, and it wasn't working. So a softer touch, still with that sturdiness and a softer touch, and as long as he understands how, no matter how hard you are with him, that you love him, that the reason why you're this way is because you love him, that'll help connect. That'll help connect that I got the love, I got the sturdiness and stuff, but my dad still gave me that love.
Yeah.
But it's not always about just trying to
Yeah.
ram in a way of thinking that it's not going to help them.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm like, hey, stand aside. I want to beat the sympathy out of you. Doesn't work. That
That's not
doesn't
gonna work.
work. That doesn't work.
My son is 16 years old. I never
Yep.
put my hands on him.
Facts.
And now that he's like 6'1", 222 pounds, I'm really not gonna put my hands on him.
Love that.
He'll
Love that.
lay me the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's funny. I was telling him, and this plays a whole role of YouTube in my life, like using this platform, right? It's like I stopped the 9 to 5 and did YouTube, and during the time my son was 1 year old. So I was like, I got to spend some very transformative, the transformative years with my son because
That's
of
dope.
YouTube. YouTube
That's
allowed me to spend a lot of times when you're in the hustle, you're exhausted, but like I got to be there. And I was like, that's
that you see,
huge.
bro. Not a
I
lot of men have that, bro. And
no.
that's the best thing because we're the ones grinding, trying to
Yep.
make that check. To just for you to have that is one of the gems of life.
Yeah,
That
man.
not a lot of men are able to see, bro.
Yeah.
And that's so dope.
And I was like, I keep telling my wife, I come from a very blue collar background. My pops was always working, doing construction, always away
Right.
during my transformative years, and I was like, I told my wife, I was like, listen, there's gonna be a time where I'm not gonna be the favorite one, like right now we're good to go. Like I'm the hero. I'm the shit.
That is Superman right now.
And at some point we're gonna butt heads, and I can't wait for that moment because that means it's progressing. That means things are happening the way they should, and I can't wait for that moment, but right. It's gonna be a little bit, and I'm fine waiting for as long as it takes. But
enjoy it now, bro. Just enjoy the moment.
Right.
Because these are the moments right now, bro, that I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit jealous of you that right now you're in that moment.
I'm in that pocket.
You're in that pocket, bro.
Like outside of diapers, reading bedtime stories. Like you've moved away, you've turned a page, you turned a chapter, and you're in this like, okay, here we go. Like the roller coaster is just starting,
Right.
But it's exciting. I've been very, very blessed to have fallen down this craziness that we find ourselves in, right? And I never ever forget. And my pops was like, make sure, one of the biggest things, and I definitely know he was joking because he wasn't a drinker. He's not a drinker, but he's like, make sure you raise someone you can drink with later on in life. I was like, all right. I dig that. That'll be, because it's a wild thing, man.
That says a lot though. That says a lot. That little saying right there says a lot because when my son is 21 years old, I would hope that I could sit in my property in the fire pit with my son and share a Corona and just talk about life and just talk about anything, music, whatever he wants to talk about. I mean, right now, me and my son, we sit in my studio and not smoking. Me and him, we talk about music. Me and my son spent, the longest that me and my son spent was like 6.5 hours just talking about music.
Love that.
Just sitting in the garage when I was in the garage before I got the studio, just sitting in the garage and listening to songs and like breaking down Eminem's bars and going to Joyner Lucas and listening to all his shit and trying to break his shit down and just cool. That moment right there, like my son's favorite rapper is Nas.